In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on March 10, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Orlando Magic versus Houston Rockets. The Orlando Magic are set to face the Houston Rockets at the Toyota Center on Monday night in a non-conference matchup. The Magic, currently sitting in 8th place in the Eastern Conference with a 30-35 record, are coming off a hard-fought 111-109 road victory against the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Rockets, who hold the 5th spot in the Western Conference with a 39-25 record, are riding a 2-game winning streak after a dominant 146-117 home win against the New Orleans Pelicans on Saturday. This game marks the first of 2 meetings between these teams this season, with the second scheduled for March 19th in Orlando. The Magic will be without Jalen Suggs and Moritz Wagner for the remainder of the season, which has left a noticeable void in their lineup. On the other hand, the Rockets are cautiously monitoring Fred VanVleet, who has been upgraded to questionable for this game. Orlando's recent win over the Bucks was a bright spot, but prior to that, they had been struggling significantly. Despite the confidence boost from their upset victory, the Rockets enter this game as the favorites, especially given their strong performances in their last 2 outings. Since losing Jalen Suggs to injury, the Magic have not been the same team. They recently endured a 5-game losing streak, including losses to teams like the Raptors and Bulls. One of their biggest issues is their lack of consistent outside shooting, which makes it difficult for them to compete against stronger opponents on a regular basis. While Suggs wasn't an elite shooter, he was their best option from beyond the arc this season, and his absence has left them with limited deep threats. The loss of Mo Wagner, their 4th leading scorer, has also been a significant blow, leaving them without 2 of their top 4 scorers. Houston, meanwhile, will be without Thompson, but their depth at the forward position allows Jabari Smith Jr. to seamlessly step back into the starting lineup. Defending the 3-point line will be a key factor in this game, as there's a notable gap between the 2 teams in this area. Orlando ranks 26th in the NBA, allowing opponents to shoot 37% from beyond the arc, while Houston ranks 8th, holding opponents to a 35.2% 3-point shooting rate. The disparity in net ratings further highlights the difference between the 2 teams. The Magic are 18th in the league with a minus 1.7 net rating, while the Rockets are 6th with a 4.1 net rating. I've been skeptical of the Magic for a while now, and that sentiment hasn't changed. Despite getting healthier, they've struggled to score consistently and have been particularly poor on the road, with 19 of their 35 losses coming away from home. Their 29-35-1 record against the spread this season doesn't inspire much confidence either. The Rockets, on the other hand, have regained some momentum after securing back-to-back wins against the Pelicans. With a strong 21-10 record at home, Houston is in a good position to cover the spread in this matchup. Orlando's recent win over Milwaukee feels like an outlier, and I don't expect them to replicate that level of performance here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Magic's strategy to stay competitive revolves around slowing the game down and relying on their defense, as they lack the firepower to keep up with teams from beyond the arc. They average the fewest possessions per game in the NBA, and their defensive efficiency far outpaces their offensive output. This dynamic suggests that the game could trend toward the over, as the Magic can get stops but often struggle to score on the other end. Houston's profile is similar, with their defense ranking significantly higher in efficiency than their offense. However, the Rockets have gone under the total in 5 of their last 7 games, and with Thompson and VanVleet likely out, their scoring could take a hit. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Dallas Mavericks versus San Antonio Spurs. Another night of NBA action is here as the league moves deeper into the second half of the season. The Dallas Mavericks, currently sitting at 32-33, are holding on to the 10th spot in the Western Conference. Their season has been a roller coaster, especially since the Luka Doncic trade and a string of injuries that have left them struggling to stay afloat. On the other side, the San Antonio Spurs continue to linger near the bottom of the West, firmly in lottery pick territory as their own struggles persist. Both teams are coming off games played on Sunday night, adding another layer of fatigue to the mix. The Mavericks are dealing with a laundry list of injuries, missing key players like Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Daniel Gafford, and PJ Washington. The Spurs aren't faring much better, still without Victor Wembanyama and Charles Bassey. Despite being shorthanded, the Mavericks have shown they can still compete if role players like Thompson and Marshall step up, as they did in their last outing. That said, the Mavericks' injury situation is unlike anything we've seen this season, which should theoretically give the Spurs the edge, especially playing at home. But let's not forget, the Spurs are also underperforming, sitting 10 games below a .500 record. They've gone 3-7 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. While backing the Mavericks might not feel like the most appealing option, betting on the Spurs to cover such a large spread in their current form doesn't inspire much confidence either. As our first pick for this matchup, the Dallas Mavericks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When it comes to scoring, the Spurs have gone over the total in their last 4 games, while the Mavericks have done so in 2 of their last 4. San Antonio averages 113 points per game and plays at the 19th fastest pace in the league, with 102.3 possessions per game. They're up against a Mavericks team that has allowed 127 points per game over their last 3 outings. Dallas, meanwhile, averages 114.5 points per game and plays at the 18th fastest pace, also averaging 102.3 possessions per game. They'll face a Spurs defense that has given up 129 points per game in their last 3. This season, totals in Mavericks games have been nearly split down the middle, with a record of 32-32-1. For the Spurs, however, the over has been the more profitable bet, hitting in 34 of their 61 games, with a record of 34-26-1. At home, the over is 15-13 in Spurs games. Given the fast pace both teams play at, ranked 9th and 10th in the league, and their defensive struggles, this game is shaping up to be another high-scoring affair. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Portland Trail Blazers versus Golden State Warriors. The 2024-2025 NBA season rolls on this Monday, March 10th, with an exciting Western Conference showdown taking place at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. We're diving into the matchup between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Golden State Warriors, 2 teams looking to make their mark as the season progresses. This will be the second meeting between these squads this term. Their first clash back in October was a one-sided affair, with the Warriors cruising to a dominant 140-104 victory over the Trail Blazers at the Moda Center in Portland. Both teams are dealing with key absences heading into this game. The Trail Blazers remain without Deander Ayton, Denny Avdija, and Robert Williams, while the Warriors are still missing Brandon Podziemski and Jonathan Kuminga. Portland has had a rough stretch recently, facing some of the league's hottest teams, including the Cavaliers, Celtics, and Thunder. Their schedule doesn't get any easier as they head to San Francisco to take on a Warriors team that has been on fire, winning 9 of their last 10 games. This is a challenging spot for the Trail Blazers, who are already shorthanded without their starting center and potentially without Denny Avdija. To make matters worse, they'll be playing on the second night of a back-to-back against one of the league's most informed teams. It's hard to see Portland keeping up, and I expect the Warriors to control this game from start to finish. Golden State has been on a tear since the Jimmy Butler trade, and their offense is clicking on all cylinders. They'll likely shoot much better in this game than they did against the Pistons, who are a stronger defensive team compared to Portland. The Trail Blazers rank 21st in the league in adjusted defensive efficiency, allowing 115 points per 100 possessions, and are 19th in opposing three-point percentage at 36.1%. With tired legs and a lack of defensive consistency, Portland will have a tough time slowing down Golden State's high-powered offense. The point spread for this game is steep, but considering the Trail Blazers are playing on 0 days rest, it's justified. This season, Golden State has posted a 33-29-2 record against the spread. As our first pick for this matchup, the Golden State Warriors to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In terms of pace, both teams fall in the middle of the pack. The Warriors prefer to push the tempo whenever they can, while the Trail Blazers will likely aim to slow things down, especially since they're playing on the second night of a back-to-back. Golden State's defense has been solid, and I expect Portland's offense to have a tough time finding rhythm. The Warriors are giving up just 112 points per 100 possessions, which ranks 8th in the NBA. Over their last 10 games, they've been even better, allowing only 108 points per 100 possessions while scoring 120 points in return. Golden State is also third in the league in three-point rate at .463. Notably, 3 of their last 4 games have gone under the total. Portland will likely try to grind this game out, given their fatigue from the back-to-back, but their offense has been inconsistent all season. Golden State is 32-32 in hitting the under, while Portland sits at 31-31-2. The Warriors rank 17th in pace at 101, and the Trail Blazers are slightly higher at 16th with a pace of 101.6, though that number is expected to drop given their schedule. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Knicks versus Sacramento Kings. The New York Knicks, who currently hold a record of 40 wins and 23 losses, are set to face off against the Sacramento Kings, standing at 33-29 in an inter-conference matchup on Monday night. The Knicks are coming off a tough road loss to the Clippers this past Friday. Meanwhile, the Kings secured a home victory against the Spurs on Friday and are scheduled to play the Clippers on Sunday night before heading into this game. When these two teams last met, the Knicks dominated with a 143-120 win on their home court. The Knicks are dealing with some key injuries, as Jalen Brunson remains sidelined with an ankle sprain. On the other side, the Kings will once again be without Ye Crowder and Domantas Sabonis. New York has hit a rough patch, losing 3 consecutive games, and the absence of Brunson, who suffered an injury a couple of weeks ago, has been a significant blow. The Kings haven't been faring much better, dropping 2 of their last 3 games. Earlier this season, the Knicks handily defeated the Kings in New York, but since then, their offense has struggled, especially without Brunson, their leading scorer. Despite the Kings playing on back-to-back nights and the Knicks having a day of rest, Sacramento should have the edge at home against a New York team that's been struggling to put points on the board. As our first pick for this matchup, the Sacramento Kings to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In their previous meeting this season, the game total stayed under the projected number. The under has been a common trend for the Knicks lately, hitting in 6 of their last 7 games, including the past 3. With Brunson out, their scoring has taken a noticeable dip, and that trend is likely to continue. The Kings are also missing their 3rd and 4th leading scorers, and while they managed to put up 110 points in their last game, 13 of those came in overtime. Facing a second game in a short span, the Kings aren't expected to light up the scoreboard either. Given both teams' recent struggles on offense, this matchup is shaping up to be a lower-scoring affair. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.